Hello, welcome to this video. My name is Sri. In this video, I am going to talk about different gateways available in AWS. Whenever you create any account in AWS, it will create a VPC, Virtual Private Cloud. You can define a different VPC other than default VPC. The gateways that I am going to talk about in this video are Internet Gateway, NAT Gateway, Endpoint Gateway, Customer Gateway, VPC Gateway, Direct Connect Gateway, Egress Only Internet Gateway, and Transit Gateway. These are the different gateways I am going to talk about in this video. Let's see one by one. Let me define VPC. A VPC has CIDRs assigned. A CIDR is an IP range defined. Because this VPC is private to the AWS, only the private IP ranges are defined for any VPC. These VPCs are defined in a single availability zone here. In each VPC, we are going to define different subnets. These subnets are a subset of IPs defined for VPC. Now let us assume that we have two subnets, a public subnet and a private subnet defined. Now before I further define EC2 instance, let me also assume that we have a client defined here as an internet. Now it is time for us to create an EC2 instance and define how this EC2 instance can access either internet or the internal component. Now I have created an EC2 instance within this private subnet. I am going to talk about how this EC2 instance can access internet and how the internet client can access this EC2 instance. For this EC2 instance, to access internet, the AWS is providing an internet gateway. This internet gateway provides access to the AWS VPC network to the internet. But this EC2 instance cannot directly talk to the internet gateway. There is another component called a route table. All the rules are defined in this route table. If the request that is coming from this EC2 instance is to talk to the internet, the rule is defined here and that request is routed to the internet gateway and then to the internet. But if the request that is coming from this EC2 instance to talk to any of the other instance that is defined in the internal network, the route table knows and it routes that request internally within the network. It will not talk to internet gateway. Now let me define two more EC2 instances in a private subnet. So these two are two EC2 instances defined in private subnet. Now for these two EC2 instances, they cannot directly talk to the internet or any client from the internet. They cannot talk to these EC2 instances defined in private subnet. So AWS is providing a different gateway called NAT gateway. This NAT gateway, Network Address Translation Gateway, it provides access to all the resources defined in private subnet to the internet. Again, we will have rules defined in a route table, and this table has rules. If the request coming from these EC2 instances is to talk to the internet, the request goes to the NAT gateway and NAT gateway routes that request to the internet gateway and then the request go to the internet. But if the request coming from this EC2 instance is to talk to any of the other internal network component, the route table routes that request internally. It will not route to NAT and then to the internet gateway. Fine. Now every cloud provider will have different public service endpoints. In our case, the AWS has got DynamoDB, CloudWatch and S3. So there are various public service endpoints for AWS. Now any request that is coming from this EC2 instance defined in private subnet, if it has to talk to the public service endpoints, the request comes to the route table, and this route table, it has to route to NAT gateway and to internet gateway and then to the public service endpoints. But that is not an efficient way. Why should a resource defined in a private subnet should go through internet and talk to the public service endpoints? Instead, AWS is providing a different gateway called endpoint gateway. So this endpoint gateway, it provides access to all these private resources defined in private subnet to the public service endpoints. Instead of going through internet, the requests come to these public service endpoints using a private internal network. Fine. Now let us assume that we have an on-premise data center defined here as customer DC. Now how the customer on-premise data center can talk to the AWS data center and how the AWS can talk to the customer data center. For this we have two gateways, which is a customer gateway and also we have a VPN gateway. So these two are connected using VPC site to site. That is how a on-premise data center can talk to AWS and AWS data center can talk to an on-premise data center. There are other gateways that are not actually represented here. Those are the direct connect gateway. So for on-premise data center to talk to the cloud, there is a separate gateway provided. Instead of this VPC site to site, we have a direct connect gateway provided by AWS. The next one is egress only internet gateway. Egress only internet gateway is nothing but a NAT gateway. The only difference between these two is egress only internet gateway is applicable only for IPv6, but NAT gateway only works with IPv4. Last but not the least, the transit gateway. As a client, you might be having different services and your services may be running in different availability zones and from different regions. The clients will have VPN connected for these different regions. When a client has hundreds of VPCs, it is hard for him to manage. In order to manage these VPCs, an AWS is providing a separate gateway, which is a transit gateway. That's it for this video. Hope you like this video. If you like it, please share and subscribe. Thank you for watching this video.